FunPop.
FunPop. FunPop.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is FunPop episode number 55. And yes, if you didn't hear the news, this will be the final episode of FunPop. Yeah, it's a sad day for me and maybe for some of the panel here. I'm not sure, but like we this is our second show that we started on this channel. One of my passions is movies and TV shows and all this kind of stuff, and we had found an amazing panel, Psychonauts and 3-Bit, to start out that show, and we went a really long time. Later on, Jasper took over for 3-Bit, and 3-Bit made his way back, and we turned into like this fun show where we got to hang out every week and talk about movies and TV shows and DC and Marvel and Star Wars and all these different things. But someone once said all good things must come to an end, I guess. And yeah, this was my decision. Like, these guys didn't say, hey, we can't do this shit no more or anything like that, you know. It is just something that's too much right now to keep doing, and I had to make decisions because I want to do other things on the channel as well. And we got other shows, and we got lots of other shows with Psycho and 3-Bit when he can, and Jasper as well. So we got lots of content still coming and new things coming your way because we're sacrificing this thing right here. And it's a weird time to be sacrificing the show because like 3 of our panelists are pretty much almost like halfway dead right now. Yeah. Like Psycho's been sick off and on. He just got over COVID and then he started feeling better and now he's sick again. Jasper just got over COVID and then he was like, oh, I'm feeling better. And then like 2 days ago, he's like, oh, I feel like shit again. But now he's back up again. And now 3-Bit has some weird shit going on that he's going to have to go see a doctor and stuff for. And like, it's crazy, man. It's a weird time to send it out with like 3 injured or half co podcasters, whatever the fuck, panelists, I guess, you know what it is. But it's okay. We'll go ahead and introduce these amazing people. And I want to also say, you know, thank you to this panel for helping make this show something that we've kept on for 55 episodes, right? You never know what's gonna catch on or what's gonna work, what's not. We've had a lot of fun on this show, and it's because of you guys. So I want to say thank you for that also, because we got to host it on this channel, right? You volunteer your time and have lots of fun discussing all this shit, because we talk about all this stuff outside of the podcast. Also, that's kind of why we started it, right? But I want to say thank you. Psycho, was this your first show that you did with this?
Yeah, this is the very first podcast I started with the Fun Speculation channel. And then it grew, and you guys asked me to be on Xbox Ultimate a couple weeks after the fact, because this was because I did I guest starred on, I believe,
we had a New Year's celebration episode, and we had a lot of like community people and stuff. I think you were there on that too.
Yeah, and I think we talked about, I think that was the night, because we do our Friday. We used to do the Friday night. You know, mix up where everyone gets together, plays Halo together, and I think that's where we got the idea of FunPop. We were talking in after the fact, me, you, and 3-Bit were talking about FunPop, and like, hey, you know what? Did you guys watch Wonder Woman 84? And that's what grew FunPop.
Yeah, we talked for like 3 hours about how bad that movie was.
Just off the riff of one movie. So we're like, hey, you know what? Let's start this.
Yeah.
And we agreed, and here we are.
Yeah, and the it's something I always wanted to do, you know, but I've learned a lot about YouTube and podcasting and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And like since then, I hate, I mean, I absolutely love this show, right? But it just sucks, like for everything that we want to do with the channel and stuff, it's like can't do everything I want to do. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that sucks the most. But 3-Bit was also part of that conversation, and he was here for I mean, most of the 55 episodes for sure. There was a stretch where you got crazy busy and you had to leave the show, and then you just started randomly showing back up, and then you know I was like, oh, we'll add you back to the overlays and stuff, and it was like, fuck it, it's just like too much work, so we just like
and 3-Bit.
yeah, we just added and 3-Bit on the little splash screen thing. But thank you for being here as well, 3-Bit. I know you're not feeling the best, so thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course. It's been a crazy, awesome ride. Like you were saying earlier, like we started from how terrible Wonder Woman 84 is.
Yeah.
That was such a bad movie. We just felt a need to make a 55 episode podcast. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been one of my favorite podcasts to be a part of. There was a period where I was in like a bunch of different shows. I was like in 10 different podcasts at one point, and I left all of them, but I was like, oh, I'm always gonna stay with FunPop, you know, because it's always fun talking comics, and that's, you know, always been my passion outside of gaming. Like I do animation and comics, so it's always fun to talk about it. But and I also want to thank the chat. You guys are awesome for sticking in with us and coming to the finale show, and of course Jasper for taking over. And Jasper has been an awesome part of the Fun Speculation family, and it's been really cool to have all you guys just, you know, come with each show, and we just get to talk comics and games and stuff. So
yeah, bro,
much appreciated.
Yeah, and it's not like this channel's going anywhere, right? So like we got lots of conversations to have, and I'm sure this stuff will get brought up because we'll need an outlet somewhere. So maybe Xbox Ultimate go left sometimes. We, you know, stuff like that. But we also have Jasper, who took over about like, I don't know, maybe like 20 episodes or something like that. Yeah, dude, it's been here for a while, man. Like, it's crazy. Time flies, Jasper. So thanks for, this was also the first, I think this was the first show you did with us as well, right?
Yeah, you asked me to be on either this or FSP, and I picked this one to start out with, and it turns out I got on FSP anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah. You're on like all of our shows, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. We can just talk about it whenever we want now in party chats and stuff. So that's positive. We don't have to hold it till Wednesday anymore.
That was a little weird. Like sometimes we'd like start talking about shit, you know what I mean? And we'd be like, oh wait, we got to save this for the show, you know, because like we don't repeat.
Hold your opinion.
We don't repeat stuff to each other because it's like a natural conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when we're talking behind the scenes and stuff, and even before the show, we'll like start talking about shit. We were just talking about Miss Marvel before we went live, and I'm like, shit, I should have saved what I said for the show because like I'm probably not likely to repeat that because I already said it, you know? That's how it goes with this. So, you know, friends first, podcasters second, right?
Always.
Yeah, but Psycho, you sound like shit, man.
I know, I do. I'm just like, you know, still have 100-degree fever, so you know it's just one of those things that I'm trying to fight through it. But you know what? I can't miss out on the last episode of FunPop.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Well, of course, you know, it's like it's where I started, and you know, like to send the show off and the right way.
Yeah,
you know, and there's so much coming out in the future, especially in like we got Comic-Con coming out. We already had
Thor next week.
Yeah, Thor. Oh man, Thor. That's that.
Yeah, I should have waited till after Thor. So
if the things that are going to be talked about,
with,
or going to be shown at Thor: Love and Thunder, it's the MCU is going to start changing into a good place. So we'll see.
We could do some like random stuff here and there talking about some of these things. You know what I mean? It's just like part of the reason is like, okay, so I learned this and I had several discussions with like several people, and it's like YouTube just fucks you. Like, one thing with when you step outside of your genre that you're labeled as within YouTube, you know what I mean? So like the movie fans and the Marvel fans and stuff like never really get a chance to even see FunPop. You know what I mean? Because our content is pushed to the people that are like more gaming, because all of our other shows are gaming related, right? That's not the only reason, you know what I mean? But it's like it being on this channel handicaps the potential for the show. I mean, it just does. You know, no way around that. But
YouTube algorithm.
Yeah,
but I mean, a lot of the gamers out there are into comics, so you know, it was just one of those things, trying to see if there was enough viewers out there that were gaming that are into comics. But you know, it was just hard to nail down you know, everything with because there's so much. I mean, even if outside of the gaming, like the next most popular podcasting is movies and things like that. So it's like, it's really
and supernatural podcasts. Those are awesome.
Oh yeah. I used to listen to one all the time that was hosted by Jessica Chobot and Andrew Bowser, called Bizarre States, and they changed the name of it. But that was a really good podcast. I listened to that for years. I don't remember. It was like one of the Nerdist podcasts.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying. Telling me that.
I loved that podcast, dude. It was like one of my go-tos. That, and like I listened to that, and I listened to Podcast Unlocked, and I listened to Easy Allies. Those were like my three, like, that I didn't miss every week, right? For like a few years, you know. I always thought podcasting was like something you could do if you had like a big gaming journalistic website or like group or something. I didn't really realize that just anybody could start a podcast, you know. I was kind of like naive about it, I guess. And also too chicken shit ever to even try. And
I thought you needed some ticket or some I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like seems so like advanced and like, oh, how do they make their voices sound good? You know what I mean? How do they record it? How do they edit it? Like, we're all involved in doing this. It's like fucking crazy, man. I don't know. You know, like, do you have to have a producer there and like they're sitting there recording you and like and then you're talking into these professional shit and then you put it up? It's not, you know, and you learn a lot when you start. It's like not all that complicated. You know what I mean? But there is a lot of learning curve, and you see like, that's why I see a lot of differences in a lot of the shows. Like, there's some out there that have like really high production value and like, you know, all the audio sounds great and stuff. And you see, you know, some where it's like they're all talking on the cell phones, you know what I mean? And that's nothing wrong with that. It's just saying you learn a lot, and anybody can start anywhere. You know what I mean? And I feel like one thing, we've made a lot of improvements, and you can kind of even see it like through our first episodes and some of our shows, you know, going through to where we are.
Oh my gosh, watching the first episode I was on with Xbox Ultimate, I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's weird.
If go even further than a rabbit hole, go to the first episode of Xbox Ultimate. Oh. I actually don't. I please advise anybody, please do not go to the first episode of Xbox. We had already learned a lot by the time we did FunPop episode 1, you know. But you know, it's just a fun thing to do, right? I advise anybody who wants to get into this to just dive right in. You know what I mean? And the one thing I'll say that I did learn because of that was just about how YouTube works and how some of this things works. Like FunPop, I think, has a place, right? And I just don't have time to do the stuff that I want to do to make it what it needs to be. And for the channel also to be as good as it can be, there's other things I want to do. So that's why I got to move on from it. But I hope everybody understands I did like the show. I know there's people that listen after the fact that aren't even here in the chat that do watch every week, you know? So I appreciate everybody always who has either just stopped by, left a like, shared it out, participated in the chat or whatever, you know, enjoyed any of our shows. I thank everybody for having fun with us on this one, and
And shout
there'll
out
be
to
more.
Kate also.
Yeah, and Kate for doing all the work. On
Amazing freaking like layouts over
Mhm.
time, and like all of the different thumbnails per episode is insane.
Yeah, and we'll
Yeah,
still have
Kate's-
lots of movie
Kate's good.
talk and stuff. Yeah, and she's the best, dude. Like I don't know, like she creates like what I have in my mind, you know, but like makes it better. I don't know how she does it, but like I'll have like an idea and I'll be like, I like this, you know, like can you like try something like this, and then she makes something that's like kind of not that, but like different than that, but still kind of like that, but better than what I originally thought. So yeah, she's made a lot of our stuff, and different iterations of all of it, keep getting better with all that stuff too, you know. So thank you for all the work he did on FunPop and everything else.
You're awesome, Kate.
Shout out to Pong Soul.
Cool, Kate.
Pong Soul had maybe my favorite moment actually on FunPop as a guest.
Is that the face?
Yeah.
The emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you see, do we have the emoji still in there? Does that one still exist?
Kate
No,
probably has
we have Reverend Pong there now. Yeah, Kate has it.
Yeah, it's a rotating one.
Yeah, Pong was great, happy enough to, because we're talking X-Men, to join us on a show, you know, and he's a big X-Men guy from the past, you know. And we were sitting there playing, or he was sitting there playing a game while we're sitting there talking about something, and we noticed he had this like ugly ass look on his face. It was just like, you know, he's just like making a crazy ass face, and we're like, what the hell you go? I thought he was having a stroke. You know, I didn't know what was going on.
Because me and 3-Bit looked at it, he started laughing, and then I'm looking like, why is 3-Bit laughing? And I look over at Pong Soul, then I'm like, oh shit! No, God!
It turns out he was fighting a boss in a game. I don't remember what he was playing, but that was his boss fight face. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
But if you watch it back, my favorite thing is like watching it and noticing like 3-Bit and Psycho's reactions when they first notice it. It's like especially yours, Psycho, because you were like, you just like were like
oh,
shocked. You were, like,
I try
shocked.
to be professional at the same time, like, oh shit!
Yeah.
All right.
And then 3-Bit notices it, and he just like starts covering his mouth and like you know. I think you were talking 3-Bit, or maybe I was. I don't remember.
I just remember like looking down. I'm like, is anyone else seeing this? And I'm just looking at everyone's expression, and no one else is talking about it. So, like, just start looking at Paul and just start cracking up.
That was fucking great.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I think that was during the WandaVision season, because I think we were on talking about possibly what WandaVision is going to bring, and possibly is that how they're going to make the X-Men, you know, and do all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know, with the mutant timeline. So I think that's what. So that was like, God, what early?
That was a long time ago. Yeah, that was like a year ago.
I joined.
Yeah, that's over a year ago for sure. Yeah. Shout out to Vik The CLiCK. He does with a $5 super chat. He says, "What's everybody on the chat in the amazing panel?" I think so. What's up, everybody on the chat in the amazing panel? I wouldn't miss this episode, but will start missing the podcast the second it's over. I appreciate you, Vik.
Thanks, Vik. Thank you, brother.
Hanging out with us on most of our shows, dude. Absolutely awesome. But yeah, guys, I guess we'll actually do a real show though, not just talk about ourselves. So.
Like, oh shucks.
We could go down memory lane.
Yeah, we can, and we've had a lot of fun on this. Like we did trivia stuff, and that was fun.
Remember we were supposed to do this whole trivia with points, and I think like after the third episode, you're like, okay, no.
It's fucking too much work, dude. It was like a lot of work. It was fun. It was fun to do when we did it, you know, but it was a lot of work to put that together.
Well, that, and it was hard because 3-Bit was working hard on a certain developer that he's not there anymore, so he couldn't be there every single Wednesday. So it was, or I don't think it was Wednesday at that time. I think that was like when it was.
It was
Sundays.
like
we moved the day around a lot on the show.
At first, and like we were doing Sundays, and then I was like, okay, I definitely can't do Sundays anymore because I was working like crazy around that time. and then I was like, oh, I don't know if I can make the show anymore, and then I missed like maybe 3 episodes, and then I was back. I was like, okay, well,
Right.
Because you guys changed the time, or I think you changed like the day, because originally it was on Sundays, then we moved
Sundays
it.
at 3 p.m. and then we went, I
Yeah.
think, Thursdays at some time.
I think every time we moved it was at your request, 3-bit. It's
Yeah,
possible.
and then he just never showed up. He showed up the first week and then doesn't show up again.
Yeah, no, I know that Psycho originally your schedule was changing at the time, right? So
Yes.
we changed it. I think the first time because like you had a schedule change.
Yeah, Sunday at 3, I think is
Right.
my initial change,
and then we changed it. I think because that just wasn't working like for anybody, you know, when we changed it.
Yeah.
And then 3-bit left, and we're like, okay, well, we don't got to worry about 3-bit anymore because his ass is too busy. So then we changed it to a different time. Oh, just magically that time started to work out for 3-bit. So we just start showing up again, even though he said he was leaving the show. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. Well, we just fucking redid all our graphics.
Because
and
my
stuff.
work changed their schedules. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm good again.
Yeah. And Jasper was great. That's about the time Jasper joined, right? He was your replacement. Your consistent replacement. And Jasper was awesome, man. Because this was your first show, Jasper. Like you didn't have never done any podcasts or anything before this, right?
Well, I was on one episode of Ultimate just as a guest, and then
yeah,
or maybe 2 episodes, but
yeah, you've gotten a lot more comfortable too being on shows. I think, you know. So, and you got your channel going now. You're starting to talk about TV shows and shit on your channel.
Yeah. Behind the week,
he talks about Star Trek, so you know,
and Orville.
Yeah,
I have not seen Orville. I haven't watched.
Yeah, I haven't. Is that the
Seth MacFarlane?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I started watching it. I was like, wow, this is really good, and I never watched it again.
It used to be on cable, and then it got like, I guess they stopped putting it on cable, and Hulu picked it up, and now it's on Hulu.
I just signed up for Hulu. Got 2 months free through Xbox Game Pass. Thank you, Xbox.
Yeah.
What the heck? That's so weird that Xbox is starting to offer like, I mean, that's really cool. Like, if they start offering other subscriptions, other services, I guess they are right now. But I mean,
yeah, they had Disney Plus at one time, and they have that Marvel Comics like website. I think they had Spotify, Discord every now and then on there too.
Yeah, because I just did hit Paramount Plus for 30 days, and then we had the what else was it? Disney Plus, like you said, and then the Hulu and all the other shit. So.
Yeah. So in the future, like if I have time, or because I don't want to give up on talking about this shit, but it's not going to be. It's Fun Speculation channel is gaming. It's going to be a gaming channel, right? And that we may go left at different times, but if I ever have time, I do want to maybe potentially bring it back in the future. Like, but I have no plans to do that now. If I do, though, it will be on a separate channel.
Maybe like a video instead, like
well,
or like a review of a movie.
Yeah, if I did stuff like on our channel now existing, it would be part of stuff that involves gaming as well, like in a video form, right? But it would be like it's shorter stuff, you know, not like a 2-hour podcast for movies and TV shows, unless in the future, if I have the time to start another channel revolving around this stuff. But then at that time, you're like, you know, like I really want to focus on growing our channel, you know, now. And then if you put that effort into 2 different channels, it's like too much.
If you do that, you'd have to do it like one day is this day's channel, and the other day is this day's channel. Is like Tuesdays, Thursdays is FunPop channel, you know, something like that.
Right. And the channel would probably be, I don't want to say what it's called, would be called, so somebody doesn't steal it, you know. But that's just a thought in the back of my brain, you know. Be a long way off if that happens, but it's with everything we got going. We got FSP on Mondays, right? We which is honestly doing better than I thought. Like, you know, it gives us an outlet to talk about all the different consoles and all that kind of stuff, right? And I didn't know how to be like having 3 gaming podcasts on the same channel, you know. But I guess I'm not the only one that does that. Boom does it too, right? And I think that like it's got its own identity and it's growing and it's doing really well. And I like don't want to abandon that because it's something that I always wanted to do. And then PM in the PM, you know, Pong and I are just like having a blast on Thursdays. That's definitely something different that we do. And then Fridays is Xbox Ultimate. I'm never gonna say bye to that show. That's like you'll see that episode 500 of that one day, probably. Which and actually in 5 weeks or so, 6 weeks is episode 100.
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, that's gonna be a good episode. Can't wait for that one.
It's
gonna be a special one.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun.
I'll probably take my shirt off for that one.
Oh, show us your nipple piercings.
Yeah, and possibly my Prince Albert.
On your okay.
Hold on. What? No. Sorry. Damn it, I'm sick. I can't think straight sometimes.
Yeah,
so
it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we've been watching different shows like Miss Marvel. I don't know if you were on the show last week, 3-Bit. Were you?
No.
Did you see the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I did, yeah.
Actually, Psycho, you weren't here last week either because you were sick.
No, I was.
Oh, you were with your cousin who got you sick.
I was away from home.
Yeah.
I was here, but I was sick.
helping. I was helping family.
Yeah, Jasper was here with COVID. You were out helping family, probably getting this other sickness that you have now.
Probably.
And 3-Bit was just being 3-Bit. I don't know what he was doing.
Yeah, I was away from home.
Yeah, he was not near his home.
Not near home.
So, like, I watched Obi-Wan Kenobi. Jasper watched it. We saw the finales and everything. We didn't give any spoilers last week, and I don't know if we should now either. But like, have you guys finished Obi-Wan Kenobi yet?
No.
You have not finished the last episode yet, Psycho?
No.
Is that because you're refusing to watch it, or like?
It sounds like Darth Vader there.
I'm just, right? No, I'm just taking it in. You know, I gotta look at it through. I grew up on the original trilogy, so I'm biased because that storyline, you know, is the way it was. I don't know they're trying to change things for the future, and I know they're trying to make things a little bit more adaptable. So I gotta look it through a different set of eyes. So I gotta really sit down and process this shit. And it's
okay. Yeah,
because if you go and talk to a lot of people that are like they're even more fanatic than I am with Star Wars, they shit on Obi-Wan. So I can't listen to them just because it's like, if I listen to what they say, then I'm like, I got their words in my head saying, okay, maybe. And then I'm like, yeah, that's true. It does shit on the storyline. So I just got to take it in the whole new fresh.
Don't let other people have your own opinion on it. Like, don't let those other negative Nancys influence your decisions on what you enjoy.
Yeah, I know. But it's just sometimes like the things that I saw, because I watched up to episode 5.
Only 6.
Yeah, there's only 6. You got one episode left, bro.
Yeah, I got one episode left. So I watched up to that point, and I'm just like, do I want to disappoint myself? Because I just saw so much flack of that last episode. Outside of like choreography, it was nice. Visually, it was nice. But like the story, that's where it falls for what people hated it. I hated it about it. It's just one of those things that, you know, just I didn't want to read a lot of the articles and people's comments because then they will give away. I accidentally saw one thing and one thing is like, how can, you know, I'm not going to go there because I don't want to spoil it, but we'll see. I got to take it in. I got to sit down with a bottle of something and watch it.
A bottle of gin, like
whiskey or something.
3-Bit, have you seen it?
I did, and I kind of do want to spoil it because this is the only opportunity, I might have to spoil it.
Okay, major spoilers
But,
ahead. 3-bit is going to spoil.
So I want to spoil it. This is the only opportunity I have to spoil it, so I'm going to spoil it. That's pretty
exactly
much
right. Major spoilers. Let me put the text thing up real quick.
Yeah,
This is Obi-Wan Kenobi spoilers. All right.
Sorry for those who haven't watched it, but so that's Harry Potter in my ears. Where's that coming from?
I think that's coming from you,
me?
bro.
What is that?
Me? You guys heard that, right?
It sounded like
crazy?
a little alien bells or something. I don't.
It sounds like the Hogwarts. Like
no, I heard the Hogwarts scene.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, I heard.
Dude.
I thought I was going crazy for a second. Anyways, yeah, I like the last 2 episodes. There was we haven't really seen Darth Vader on live action. Do like fight the way he's supposed to fight. Like in the older movies, he fights like their choreography was kind of terrible in the older movies. As much as I love the older movies, they kind of fight like
old men.
I don't know, old men. I don't know. They swing at like 0.1 miles per hour. It's just like
they swing they fight like they have no movement capability or choreography whatsoever. That was an afterthought. It was just like okay, let's. It was more like fencing.
Well, the first. I mean, really, first
still has more movement than
episode
that.
4, they had wires for the lightsaber, so their movement was restricted.
Yeah.
So
I could see it. I wanted to fully, I wanted to see what Darth Vader is able to do. Like you see it in like the cartoon adaptions and like smaller things outside of the movies. So it was finally cool to see that on screen. When he like fights Reva and stuff, like how he uses the Force is to me, I thought was really cool. The first few episodes of Obi-Wan, I was like, it made me not want to watch the show at all because I was not liking where the show was going. It just those pacing and everything. I was just like not really interested in because I came to watch the show to see that dynamic with Obi-Wan and possibly Vader and fight how he used to like in the.
That's weird because that's like the one thing I didn't really like is the lightsaber fighting in the show.
Oh well, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, like what I liked in the George Lucas like the Clone Wars and also especially Revenge of the Sith. I like that sort of fast paced combat, and some people like divided like Jasper. Yeah, but they it was close-ish,
because like the way they changed the lightsaber for me, it looks like there was that, I think it was episode 4, like when he's breaking Leia out of the prison or whatever, like the lightsaber bounces off the clones and stuff, like it should cut through them, so like there was a problem there. And then like when he's fighting Darth Vader,
you mean in that tunnel?
But before that, when all the lights go out and there's 2 clones protecting Leia, like the lightsaber's just bouncing off the stormtrooper's armor and stuff. It's kind of weird.
Oh, that was terrible. We're not going to talk about that.
Yeah,
but
and then
I didn't like that.
And then the lightsaber when he's fighting like Darth Vader, the lightsabers they feel like they have like it's like a large heavy sword when it should just like flow through the air. But the weight of the lightsaber just like it looks like they're like struggling to use it, and that like shouldn't be.
Yes.
Yeah,
like, this is so heavy.
But it was definitely improved from like 4 and is 5 that last episode?
5.
6.
Which one was 6? 5 and 6 were way better than the first few episodes, which made me want to stop watching the show. Like there's this one moment where Jasper's talking about where Obi-Wan is kind of fleeing from the stormtroopers and like they're missing as usual, they always miss. But like it just felt very, I don't know, it was terrible choreography in my eyes. I'm like there's just the way he's using the lightsaber, the way everything was happening, it just felt like everything was slow. Like he's running, he's super slow. He's looking at the stormtroopers, they're reacting slow. Like everything just felt kind of But the last 2 episodes I thought were really good.
Yeah.
For different reasons. Like it was cool to see Psycho, Obi-Wan and Vader fight that was a really epic moment. Even if you didn't fully like the combat, it definitely had
What
some things in there for like Star Wars fans, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, what are you gonna say, Saga?
they fight again? What the fuck you do to me? God
Said
damn it,
major
you
spoilers. You had a chance to mute your.
mute the
I
podcast.
I said I said sorry, Psycho.
That's all right. That's all right.
That moment like was badass in episode 6. I mean, whether you like the story, whether you don't like anything else, whether you don't like how the lightsabers move or like any of this other shit, like if you're a fan of like the originals or the prequels, you can't see that and not be like, that's badass, right? Like that was just utter fucking Star Wars fucking like badassness right there in a few minutes is like worth it, and it is very impactful for like if you've invested a lot into it in that story, especially the prequels.
Those last 2 episodes really make the show. Like,
yeah,
it might be one of the best Star Wars shows just because of the last like 2 episodes.
Yeah, especially the last one, right? But I agree. Episode 5 was great too, absolutely fantastic. But and I think we're on the right count. Maybe there was only 5 episodes. I don't remember, but like
there were 6.
There were 6.
There were
Okay.
6.
The 6th episode was just fucking great.
It was pretty much what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the whole show that happened in the last 2 episodes. I think those 2 episodes were different directors. Did you guys see?
Maybe I didn't see episode 5. Maybe I did only see 1 through 4. Because I'm.
What was the last thing you remember seeing?
Oh Jesus. They were what's her name? They went to go. No, they went to go capture, get back Princess Leia.
The episode 4 is when they go to the castle in the water planet.
Yeah, that's where they.
Yeah, that's episode 4.
Okay, that's the last thing I saw.
See, and even the first half of episode 5 was like okay, but like the ending of episode 5 going into episode 6 was where it's at.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. It literally improves the show because I was pretty much how Psycho is like. This show's kind of trash, and then episode 5 happened, and I was like, oh, you doing something? Okay. And then episode 6, I was like, yeah. So
yeah, it's a geek out moment in episode 6, definitely. Right? And I see in articles people like, there's so many like this show did more damage than it did good, and all these like things, and I get it, right? Like Star Wars for me though has always been about that. They changing shit constantly ever since the first movie. You know what I mean? So I agree that okay, Lucas maybe had more right to do so than the people doing it now, and I understand that they're adding things now that maybe not for everybody that originally loved the original shows and stuff, but like I just watch them for like what they are, you know what I mean? And like is this a good show? I've had some parts like that I didn't like as much as others, you know, like especially when like the Leia was on the run and all this kind of stuff, and like they keep that back and forth about trying to get her, you know.
Looks like the Three Stooges over there. It's like, come on.
Yeah, but once they get into where it, like with Vader, everything that is involving Vader, and even the third sister, I like. She came alive into episode 5 and 6 to me, where in the first 4 episodes it was just annoying, you know, like everything about the last 2 episodes was like what I dreamt that this show could be, right?
Yeah.
And it became that, and I'm like, yes, that's what I want to see. That's fucking what I want to see from Star Wars, right? And that's I can't harp too critically on Star Wars for like tying up some of the like for some of the plot holes and stuff that they make, or because they're not I haven't seen one that people are like that is a huge problem. It ruins the entire story and everything ever told in Star Wars is now impossible because of that. Because even the ones that people did say, they kind of tied those up in this episode, in these shows. Like they kept checking those boxes throughout this that people were worried about. and then you see them throughout the episodes. Check that one. Okay, well people can't say anything about that anymore, right? Or people can't say anything about this anymore because they're resolving all these things. So I see a lot of stuff out there that's like just aimed at negativity. Everything that Star Wars does now because it's new, right? But like if people don't want new Star Wars stuff, then like they should just end it. But I don't want that. Like I don't want Star Wars to be over, and there's always going to be that criticism of like not nailing a story perfectly how somebody wants it in their head to be told. You know what I mean? Because in their head, this happened, but we don't know that yet. They haven't written it. They never filled in those gaps. There's not like a Star Wars Bible that has the entire timeline written down from all perspectives. You know what I mean? So I get that there's definitely going to be those issues where they have to make these changes for creative reasons and stuff. And it just doesn't, maybe it's because I'm not as diehard, you know what I mean? But like, it just doesn't bother me. And I appreciate the shows for what they are. Like Mandalorian is a whole new story, whole new character, whole new thing. So nobody has an issue with it. Right. But if that character had already existed and stuff and everything, people have been like, oh, well, he didn't do that. But that's not the kind of a decision he would make. Or, you know what I mean? It's like, I like where they went with it. And I feel like it cemented itself in those last 2 episodes. Right.
Yeah. And you always run into the problem, like Star Wars is such a huge universe, and it's something I always kind of wanted for Halo too, because Halo, it seems to be trying to do a huge universe, but right now, I don't know. I don't know with Halo. I'm not even gonna talk about Halo right now, but with Star Wars, it seems like Star Wars is such a huge universe, and when they got bought out by Disney, there's some things that were lore, right? That like,
Yeah.
hey, in this book, this happens on this timeline, and it happens right after this movie, exactly this way, and then a lot of fans like, okay, so they can relate to things that are happening in like in a game or something. Like you're like, oh, this is happening right during this book, and they can like catch those references, right? But it seems like when Disney took over, those things became not lore anymore,
No longer canon.
no longer canon. And so which did give Disney more freedom to do things, but it also,
I feel like with that they kind of
freedom.
balanced the universe. Like with the expanded universe, everything was kind of like out of balance. Like you had like Starkiller, which was like the most powerful dude, like stronger than Darth Vader, at the same time existing as Darth Vader. So like none of that made sense. So like with them removing that kind of stuff, it just balanced out the story where they could like actually tell stories in that universe.
Yeah. The only problem is that they almost pretty much close enough retold episode 4, 5, and 6 again with the Starkiller moon base. That's like, I mean, they could have gone something totally different than that original. You know, like you just bought this franchise for billions of dollars, and now you have a killer Death Star Part 2. Like they could have, to me, they could have gone totally different.
Yeah, I mean,
in those movies, I agree. They
yes,
they fucked up those movies, and not like they can do whatever they want. They're new movies, you know what I mean? But like, the story could have been better. They could have done a better job. But however, like it doesn't. It still makes sense. They could have done, you know.
Yeah, I just didn't like it just felt like they didn't have any ideas of how it should have gone, so they rehashed the moon base again. It's like, really? I'm like, you got, okay, the Empire's in shambles. Let's try to, you know, they could have focused on what general, like general what is it, Admiral
that blue guy?
No, not
the blue guy.
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
Oh my god, I was talking. He's a cis.
He's a I know who you're talking about. He has he has this blue face.
Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn.
Whatever.
Yeah, Admiral something Thrawn. Yeah, they could have gone something like that.
Well, now he's in the new Ahsoka show.
And Mandalorian. So season 3 Mandalorian and Ahsoka, they're tying Thrawn with those two. So I like that they're doing that. Just wish they kind of possibly got maybe something else with the Empire than this First Order. Like the first, it just felt like it wasn't really original. Like they didn't put too much thought process. Or like, okay, we'll have new stormtroopers, and we'll do the new. They're trying to sell Phasma as like the new Boba Fett, but that didn't take and and it was like the freaking dual wielding baton stormtrooper was really what fans digged a lot, and it was like, no, you're supposed to like Phasma, not this guy, and it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Last Jedi was pretty much a movie of gotcha. Oh, you
Trash.
think this is
Oh.
gonna happen? Well, I mean, yeah, it was trash, but you think this is gonna happen? Gotcha. It was like the director thinking good writing means to surprise your audience by either killing
yeah,
characters off or doing something that you don't expect. And to me, Disney or not Disney, because they're doing really good with Marvel. I would say the Star Wars division,
yeah,
with the movies at least, hasn't found that line between giving the director creative control and also making sure you establish things within the universe correctly. I think with Marvel they figured it out. With it's definitely with Kevin Feige
Mm-hmm.
as like the creative director, like he gives a balance of like, okay, you're Taika Waititi. Yes, I love your directing style, et cetera, et cetera. But there's certain things, you have to stick to. I feel like with Star Wars,
Yeah.
they
it
did
was
not find
I,
that
cohesion.
part of
yeah, that could
part of Star Wars' problems too is like the gaps that we know about that were all filled in by these cartoons where there was like shit tons of episodes, right? You had Clone Wars and Rebels and all these different things. You probably had like how many episodes of Clone Wars was there?
There's a lot because
Yeah, Pong.
There's I was just reading that.
they have a 2D because they had a 2D Clone Wars.
Well,
That was
the original Clone Wars I don't think counts. He's just talking about the good animated one that
Yes.
everyone talks about.
Yeah, I mean it's
3D
like
ones.
went on for
There's-
how many seasons?
There's like I think 7 seasons, so each season, like most seasons have like 20 episodes or something.
Okay, so you're making canon every time you have one of these
Yeah.
like little 20-minute cartoons, right?
Calorie says 150
And,
episodes.
And so you had 150 episodes of that, and plus you had Rebels and all these other ones now as well, right? So you're creating all of this like canon in these shows and these cartoons and stuff, and they kept making stuff out, and that's what everybody's like, okay, this is what happened in the timeline. This is like, but they were making all that shit up as they went too. You can't tell me they didn't make stuff up as they were making all these 20-minute cartoons. You know what I mean? So it's like, but that's so like adamant. That's what happened. You can't
some
step
of the
outside
shit
of
in
that.
the cartoon is still weird, and I don't like it because there's like a whole
Right.
scene in the Clone Wars where Anakin like goes to this planet. And there's like this vampire and like Mother Nature chick that's like supposed to represent good force and evil forces. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, so like there's a bunch of weird shit. Like they've always done this with Star Wars. That's my point. It's like when you're filling in gaps, it leaves room for interpretation and stuff. And it's like to criticize this show specifically for like a lot of the stuff that they did. Like I get maybe there's some things that people don't like or whatever, but I feel like all the major plot holes were checked on that now, and they just told a story that was a little different than people anticipated, right?
Well, they could have just done it a little bit better. They could have, like that whole chase scene with 3 people. They could have done it with 1.
That was
Yeah, well, that's a
Like,
waste of
yeah,
time. Yeah,
get up to the
I'll
last
criticize
episode.
that too. That's a waste of
Yeah.
time. That's like
And
you don't
over
even
here
need
we're
that.
looking like 3 Stooges, like them chasing the little girl.
That
Yeah.
was
like,
dumb.
oh, I'm tripping on
Yeah.
a rock.
That's not
Oh, I
that's
can't
not like
go over
about
this little branch.
plot holes
But-
though, right? You know what I mean?
No,
That's
but-
just bad like idea for an
Filming.
episode. Like it is a
Yeah.
wasted episode.
They could have,
bad-
but
bad-
there was other things with the plot that the story, the first 4 episodes I did watch, they could have changed a little bit and made it like, okay, that is plausible. It felt like the writers really didn't follow so much of the A New Hope and everything would happen with the original trilogy, that they kind of just read.
But you're
Revenge
saying that
of the
now without
Sith.
seeing the last 2
Yeah,
episodes.
the last 2 episodes
Well,
really
that's what I'm
cleared
saying.
things up.
The last 2 episodes literally made me like the rest of the show, and I hated the beginning of Obi-Wan. I was about to give up on the show after I saw Leia running away from those guards, and they're like trying to catch up to
She
her.
got away.
You gotta wait. And they're like, she's clearly not running very fast. I mean, she's a kid. She's running as fast as she can, but you could reach her in like 2 steps, and they're just like,
Yeah.
whoa, I can't catch her. Ooh. Yeah, that was
And
bad.
there were supposed to be 10-year-olds too. So Luke and Leia were 10-year-olds, and to me, I didn't feel like they felt like they were 7 and 8 than 10, because this was 10 years after of whatever, I forget what it was, or 10 10 years after.
3.
Yeah, so it just felt like I don't feel like they're 10, but you know what I mean. I mean that could be whatever, but it's just little things that they like. It's like they wanted to try to tell up, like introducing the new fans into this, and here's what's going on. You try to keep it, like let them try to follow along with them if they haven't watched, the original trilogy yet. But I mean, it's like if you're watching this, you should already watch the original trilogy by now.
My only major complaint with it is that I felt like Leia was too close to Obi-Wan for too much time. That's the only problem I had with it. Other than that, it's all right. I feel like every other
because like, why didn't she mention him?
Yeah, or just like I think I feel like the conversations would have been different that they would have had in episode 4. But that's the only problem if they were actually that close. But that's the only problem I have with this.
Was there any dialogue that says in like episode 4, like, "Oh, I remember you," or is there anything like that? No. Okay. I was just wondering.
See, I feel like Ben would have looked down, looked at her and be like, "Oh, remember the time we had," or something. Like they would have said something like that in episode 4. That's the only reason that I have a problem with that is because they were too close or too long in the show.
Yeah,
they could do a Lucas cut.
But there's no way to fix that. Like with what they, I mean, they would have had to basically not, like they would have done a different thing. They could have done the same story involving Luke, but then that would also cause problems because then like Luke had this grand adventure and he just came in like in episode 4 is like he's so like innocent. He doesn't really know anything about any of this shit. Like so, it's like, I thought it was cool seeing a young Leia in the show, and I feel like that was a purpose. A good job. I think that was a big purpose of trying to explain like who she is and how she became this leader that she is today, or was in episode 4, 5, and 6, right? How what set her on that path. You know what I mean? I feel like that was as big a part of the show as Obi-Wan Kenobi was, right? And that was one of the reasons why they went that direction. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, the thing with like they could have like left Obi-Wan like she didn't, if like Leia didn't have to know exactly who this was. Like, I'm just a friend, I'm here to help you, I'm rescuing you. You don't know, if she's just like, oh, who are you, and he just make up some fucking fake ass name and just be like, I'm just whoever, and just so this way she should be like, oh, I remember this guy, but that, and she wouldn't really remember, because when from that point to at least from what I saw in episode 4 to what A New Hope was, there was some time passed since then that she would have been like, she wouldn't have really recognized Obi-Wan, like, oh, that's fucking, oh, I remember you from the desert, you rescued me, he could have just been, they could have played it that route, but they like made it too like personal. And I was like, well, in the movies you didn't have that personality, that personal connection in the first episode 4, and that's what I think
did that. I forget, did we
very believable?
How much did we see them together at all, like in episode 4? I don't even remember, be honest with you.
They were the entire time when he got her from
they never
restraints.
They never met though.
I remember like what Focus was saying in the chat. He's like,
yeah, I guess like, they actually never met.
Did they never even see each other in episode 4?
Not really. You have Princess Leia saying, help me, Obi-Wan, you're my only hope. And then Luke and Han Solo
and all those guys, right?
They went to go save her, and because Obi-Wan was trying to, what was he doing? He's like on his own side mission doing some.
Yeah, he went to turn off the tractor beam.
Yeah,
and then
Yeah,
Then he
So
fights
they just
Vader.
never
Yeah.
even had it. What I'm
Yeah.
getting at is we don't.
They
There's so
don't-
much unknown about the relationship other than like what her message was. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's just the messaging between how
Yeah, I guess that makes
she's
sense.
like,
They wouldn't have had-
please help. You know, it just doesn't. From they could have just looked at like watched episode 4 and been like, okay, this is how this is worded, or how are we gonna play? You know, make that work with what we're doing here. I mean, literally, I think they could have just done a little bit better writing at that aspect and been like, and then made it more plausible. Like, okay, that makes sense. You know, but it just didn't feel that
right.
way.
So Calarie is
remember-
adding some stuff to.
Remembering that, it's just like my point's kind of pointless now of him being with her too much. Like they never meet, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So Calarie says when Luke says I'm here with Obi-Wan, she goes, "Where is he?" She's excited to see him. She only sees him die to Darth Vader as they board the Falcon.
That's kind of messed up. The more I think about it, I mean, just adding this show and then like you haven't seen this person in years, and then like, oh, he's alive. Where is he? And you just see him die. Like, oh.
Yeah. But I think it shows like why she went to him for help, right? You know what I mean? And it maybe adds context that wasn't originally planned for that. You know what I mean? So like people could nitpick like one line that she says where she like doesn't put enough emphasis on the importance of Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? Based on what this show says. But I personally like having that in there. It adds more to the story for me personally, right? Calarie says my theory as to why she wasn't devastated by Obi-Wan dying is because she just saw Alderaan get wiped out, so she could have been numb to it. Yeah, she just saw her whole planet destroyed as well. So at that point, it's like, well, shit, everything fucking doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? It's like what one other person sacrificed who was already an older man as well, you know, fighting this.
Yeah.
And maybe knowing that just trying to have some kind of hope. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, bring in the old Republic.
Yeah, I agree. But like, and what Dredge is saying is kind of what we're all saying. Like the last 2 episodes literally saved the show. Otherwise, this like I was originally gonna give this show like how dare you show this to me like a 5, and then it raised it to like maybe a 8.
Yeah, that's why you have to watch the whole thing all the way through, because like a lot of the complaints may have been resolved for you. You know what I mean? And
I got
story wise and stuff. But yeah, I like the show. I'm also liking another Disney Plus show right now, Miss Marvel. Although the last episode I feel like was a little bit of a letdown for me.
Hey, you got to finish the show though.
Yeah, Pong says, or how about not have Leia in the show at all? She wasn't Obi's responsibility. Yeah, you could make that argument as well. And he was, if you watch the show, Pong Soul, he did not want to go. He was very, very, very adamant that it was not his responsibility. He only had one responsibility, but shit happened. You know, they took that into account with the writing, with him having a hard time making that decision to go leave, right? So they tried to attack that, what you're saying, and I agree with you. However, you know, they did go that way, and because of that, I feel like I like the connection that him and Leia had, right? So, but it was within a matter of a couple weeks, over a course of 20 years that he was gone from Luke, right? As far as we know. So 2 weeks out of 20 years, I say that's probably fair enough that Luke was still primary responsibility. Just saying, just throwing it out there. I don't know, you know, but all right, what we also got Miss Marvel, guys. Miss Marvel was, I really like a lot of the show. I like the story. I like the way they're doing her powers and stuff. Did y'all have a chance to see the last episode?
Yes. I just finished it.
Like half of it and I fell asleep. So I don't know what the heck.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I fell asleep. I remember she went in some room and it was like paintings, and the other person is like, "Oh, I'm doing my
her
painting."
grandmother.
It's her
Yeah.
grandma's room. Yeah.
And then I fell
Grandma.
asleep. So I don't know what happens after that.
So you got 5 minutes
Revelations.
in the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that's at the beginning of the episode 3-bit. And right after that, spoilers again, everybody.
Hero-gasm. Sorry.
Right after that, her grandmother confirms to her that she is a djinn. That she is born of a descendant of somebody that was, her great grandmother was from another dimension. Right? She confirms to her that. No big deal. It seems like it's like, okay. Where I had issues with like this episode though was, I feel like this episode could have been in like 3 episodes. There was too much important stuff in the middle of it that they spent like 2 minutes on that I feel like could have filled an entire episode.
I do remember the society, but I don't remember how. I remember there was that red guy. Is that after?
Red Dagger.
Red Dagger.
The red. Do you remember them fighting, and then they go into the society, and so I think that's when
you must have. Okay, yeah. So that
I was probably dazing in and out.
Mm-hmm. So that when they went in there and talked, there was just another scene also where they did the same thing, but they just cut to it and they were just talking for like a minute, and a bunch of stuff was revealed, right? Like about dimensions, alternate dimensions, and like, you know, the realms and stuff, and then that aspect of the whole show's over from this point on. It seems like, because they're not going back there now, I don't think, right? I feel like that could have been like drug on for a few episodes, and the show could have been made to be bigger than it is. Because this was a big moment.
This is episode 4, right?
Episode 4, and I kind of have a feeling now we're gonna have this big build up to the finale in episode 6? Is it probably 6 episodes?
Yeah, probably 6 episodes.
Yeah. So
it's a new formula. 6 episodes apparently for
Yeah.
Disney.
I feel like episode 4 could have been episode 4, 5, and 6, and then there could have been 2 more episodes after that. Like, show up to Pakistan, you know, to Karachi, you know, finally discover at the end of the episode like the Red Dagger thing. It's just like it flew by too quickly, all these big important moments for me. Because it's a lot about discovery of who she actually is, what her abilities are, trying to discover that, what's actually going on with her great grandmother, and like who these people are, what is the problem if I help them, what could possibly happen, and then the whole understanding the abilities and all this stuff like culminates with like a piece of clothing being given to her, and that's just how she, everything she gained from that pretty much now. Like, it's like, I don't know, I just wanted there to be more of that whole, because this is like her origin story, right? That's like the big
change a lot.
Yeah, that's like the big origin thing, is when you finally get, okay, I understand who I am and what I'm capable of, right? And that lasted like that in this show so far.
It did.
You know, so that's my disappointment, and I still like the show overall.
I still don't think we're done with her origin. I think she's still gonna be learning about it though. It's like, this is just like the small
from
part
who though.
Like,
that guy's dead now.
Herself. She's gonna discover it herself.
Okay.
I don't know.
Right.
But so I have to, like, when she got stabbed in her. Are we gonna say that? Are we gonna?
I have the spoiler things. Spoilers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
fair,
when he
since I spoiled Obi-Wan. So when that one chick stabs the bracelet, the bangle, and then they go into the train station, like, you know, it's like the story that they're gonna go tell it with that, but it's like to really like, is that how they're gonna like reveal what her background is, like who she is, instead of like I wish she got training on top of, because it's like, what are you gonna do with her? She's gonna have her movie coming up here soon in the Marvels. So is she gonna have training since then, from when this season ends to when that movie begins next year? So, you know, it's like,
When is she gonna have her training? She gonna have her like, how are they gonna end this season with 2 more episodes? Like,
Well, they could just tease it would be like,
Yeah.
and the Avengers like come and meets her at the end of it or something, you know?
She is getting better each episode
Yeah.
too with her powers. I will say that for sure.
but she could definitely take it up to the next level if this guy stayed alive, trained her, because
Well, the kid's still alive. Maybe the kid has like other leaders he can take her to.
possibly.
Maybe. This is
We'll
our
see.
Red Dagger America division. Welcome. Let's go take a trip there. I don't know. 3-bit, like, what did you feel about it in your days of sleepiness?
Yeah, I was watching it today. So far, when I was watching Miss Marvel, like every single episode, this was before Obi-Wan 4, or was it 5 and 6 or whatever it came out. Last 2 episodes of Obi-Wan, I was like, wow, this show is actually consistently better than Obi-Wan. And I was like, why? Because I've been waiting for Obi-Wan way longer than Miss Marvel, and also the promotional material of Miss Marvel. I was like, what the heck? I'm not gonna like this show. It like the commercials and how they promoted Miss Marvel. I was like, oh, it might be okay. But I need to learn to stop doubting Marvel.
They kind of showed it off as like maybe this little high school teeny drama show. Yeah. But it's actually a big Marvel epic, you know?
Yeah. And like Marvel consistently impresses me with like how they, I don't know, how they flesh out their universe and things still sort of make sense, where Star Wars is in a case where you're like, oh, does that still make sense? And they're just really good at tying things together, because they're just, I don't know, they have a smart creative team. I didn't finish this last episode. I might have similar opinion to you guys, but so far from what I've seen, I'm really liking the show. I like the actors. I like where it's headed. It feels different than other Marvel shows, while also feeling marvelly at the same time. So I don't know. It's interesting. I know they changed her backstory from being like a djinn to, wasn't she like just
she was just
mutant
stretchy
or something?
before.
Yeah, she got her powers in like before, I think, from an accident at like the Avengers facility or something. That like, that from the test, was it the test react or the Tesseract? I think the Tesseract. Something happened with that, and there was like an explosion, and it kind of jacked with her because she did have something with her past or something that was never really fully discovered, and she is got that super stretchy strength and stuff, you know.
Like Mr. Fantastic.
Kind of like Mr. Fantastic, yeah. I like this better though. I feel like it adds more depth to the character and her background and stuff. I feel like they wrote a good story with this, and I don't have a problem with them. Like, MCU stuff kind of stands on its own, and as long as they're cohesive within that experience, I'm okay with that, because they changed a lot of stuff from the comics all the time,
Yeah, and sometimes the changes that reflect in the movie ends up being the comic canon, just like over time. Like they'll have like a run of comics where it's weird. It's like they get inspired off of each other. Like you have the base comics of, like, let's just say Miles Morales or something, and then they make a movie off of that, and then the movie will change a few things, and then the new comic book writers look at the movies and they're like, okay, that's how we're gonna do the comics from now on. So they kind of jump off of each other. That's something Marvel tends to do a lot, for sure. I like DC Comics stories a little bit better, which is weird because Marvel, I love Marvel more, but the stories in DC are freaking amazing. But the movies are kind of Amber Heard and trash turd. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So we have 2 episodes, I think, left, right?
Yeah.
Where do we see this going? Like, at culmination, I guess 2 episodes in, like, this next episode has to have that big build up, right?
Has a lot of potential, because they were starting to talk about different realms in this last episode. So, like, are we going to continue to see that, or are they going to just be like, and we're done talking about realms now in this show? Like, just finish the show off now.
Well, she's in a different time right now as well. So it's
Well, because that's the thing with what we're noticing with the shows is these realms, and because of course what happened with the TVA with Loki. So we're seeing a lot of more of these realms, and it's like, okay, where's this build up? Where are they taking these with the talks of realms? Where are they gonna take this with the MCU? You know, especially with Kamala, because with Kamala being a Jinn, and that's where I forget
Do you
the
think they're
name
gonna
of.
do Secret Invasion on a different realm instead of having a whole nother multiverse?
Yeah, possibly.
Hmm.
Good possibility.
I think
Time, but
this is leading.
time, but the time conversion. That's the thing that Wise Secret Invasion, or was it Secret Wars?
Or Secret War, whatever. The one where they all fight everybody, you know?
Yeah, I think it was Secret
Hmm.
Wars. Is with the time conversion, they, you know, because some superheroes were destroying other timelines or universes, so Doctor Doom brought them all together into where his battle uh planet or battle world, as he calls it.
That's literally going to be the next.
That's why I'm
Sort.
saying that, like, I think there might be, because they said the realm is like parallel to the Earth that we have now. So, like, maybe for Secret Wars, they're just going to be like, and everyone goes to the other realm and fights there.
That'd be kind of
Something.
cool.
They're
I
doing
think it's
something
leading
with the realms.
I think it's definitely leading towards. I don't know if I think is it too early for Secret Wars? I don't know. I think they're gonna like we know Miss Marvel is in the Avengers to an extent, so I think they're gonna start teasing the Young Avengers so they could also, because you know they're starting to build up the Dark Avengers, with Black Widow, the new Black Widow, and
See, I
the
thought that
U.S.
too,
agent.
but the end of like the way Hawkeye went, it doesn't. It seems like she's like doesn't trust
Not
that
doing it.
evil Christine or evil Elaine anymore. You know what I mean?
Well,
Hmm.
the thing is with that, we'll have to see with the Thunderbolt Ross Thunderbolt Ross TV show or movie or whatever because Marvel just announced, because that is the buildup of whatever they're doing, and that is possibly introducing Red Hulk into the MCU, because that's what Thunderbolt Ross. That's pretty much who the mantle. He is Red Hulk. So, are they doing Thunderbolt Ross? Or are they doing the Dark Avengers? So whatever their team they're building up is going to be interesting, because you got the guy that took over Captain America and the Falcon
I don't
and
like that
Winter
dude.
Soldiers, the U.S. agent.
I will
believe.
never forgive for how they treated the Hulk in the MCU. Never
Yeah.
forgive. I mean, they did
So
okay, but I'm still mad
So
about it.
I think Red Hulk's going to like really give us that.
Well, we got
Hulk
She-Hulk
wanted.
next.
Yeah. Well, Feige said in the next couple months we're gonna have a big, obvious hint at where this whole saga is going, right?
Well, we got what
Thor: Love and Thunder, and then Black Panther: Wakanda Forever coming out this year. And I think they're gonna.
She-Hulk is the next TV show in August.
But I think they're gonna make the big reveal of like the moment of like big villain type thing in a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so that's the two shows we have in the next 6 months, right? In the next 5 months, we got in about a week and a half, we got Thor: Love and Thunder, and then is it November for Black Panther 2?
Yeah, something like that.
So between those two movies, we will have some kind of big moment happen, I believe. And I don't know, maybe they're gonna do it with Thor: Love and Thunder, because they haven't really alluded too much about like I know there's like gore and stuff, and you got the thing is with Thor, you got a lot of different things. You know, you got space involved. You know, you got the realms involved. You know what I mean? And with Natalie Portman being Mighty Thor, I don't know. Maybe you bring in the multiverse into it a little bit as well with this movie. So there's like a lot of potential for different aspects to be happening all in one movie. You know?
Yeah, I have one theory with this Thor: Love and Thunder. I will say it right now, and what I believe is Thor dies in this movie, and then we will see Almighty Thor be born from this. That's my thoughts.
I mean, they were gonna replace Hemsworth anyway because he's
Contracts
too much money now.
Yeah.
And then in the comics they also replaced Thor with a Lady Thor like a few.
But then
like,
she starts
years
getting
ago.
sick because she's not a god, and she's using the power of a god, and that slowly
Yeah,
makes
that's
her
something
sick.
they can deal with in like 10 years from now with like 4 movies.
I mean, yeah, it depends if they just decide. I don't know where this movie is headed in terms of Thor. Like, is she gonna be the new lead, or there will just be two Thors, and she's doing her own thing, he's doing his own thing, so that way they could still use Chris if they want. I don't know.
He might just do the Captain America thing, just be like, I'm just gonna go retire on this planet. I'll be back in 10 years.
Yeah. He could be like, I'm going to,
Chill. I'm tired of fighting.
yeah, or
Well,
like,
that's kind of what the vibe was in Thor: Love and Thunder. He was kind of like chilling out, but I think he's gonna die from God, the God Butcher, Gore, the God Butcher, and then down the road they introduce Thor again, possibly maybe by another actor, if they go that route. But it'll be Almighty Thor if they introduce a different actor.
Mighty Thor or Almighty Thor? Mighty Thor, right?
All Father Thor.
All Father Thor. Okay.
Yeah, the most powerful Thor, like version of Thor ever. So, Almighty Thor, or God damn it, All Father Thor. Sorry.
Yeah, because there was like I just like was googling that. It's like a spoof movie called Almighty Thor. It's like I've never heard of Almighty. And there's Mighty Thor.
Yeah, All Father Thor. Sorry.
So yeah, I'm thinking like there's some big reveal. I don't know what it's gonna be. I think they're hiding something with Thor: Love and Thunder right now, like big. They're not giving us too much from the trailer like they have in some of the other trailers. Like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, we saw a lot to dissect here. And this one, I'm like, I mean, they're focusing so much on Natalie Portman and that whole sequence of events and stuff. I don't feel like there's as much to dissect with this, and that's why I'm thinking they're hiding some big time shit with this movie. I don't know. Have you dissected it at all?
I know in the trailer there's a big tree. I forgot what it means for the comics, but there's like some like mighty tree or some shit that people are like, is that the super magic tree or whatever? As people are like going over.
Is it like the tree of life or something like that?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Because we wonder, because the whole thing with Mighty Thor, when she comes when she has Mjolnir, she has the shattered Mjolnir in her hand. Mjolnir. So she has the shattered one. So now is there two? Thor has.
Thor has an axe
got
now.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, Stormbreaker.
But Captain America in Endgames had the one that he went in the time traveled and grabbed that one from Asgard from there, because then that's how they had both. That's how at the end in Endgame they had Mjolnir from Asgard when they time traveled and Stormbreaker.
Didn't Thanos destroy the Mjolnir? Didn't it shatter?
That was
I can't remember.
I don't think he shattered it. He in that one, I don't believe he shattered it. I don't believe he did.
I don't remember.
I know because how originally was
no,
shattered.
Hela shattered it.
Yeah, Hela destroyed it.
But
But Mighty Thor, hers looked like it's all pieced together. The one that Hela destroyed.
Was Thor 3 after Endgame now? I don't remember.
No, it was before.
No, it was before
because his planet got destroyed and
Ragnarok.
So I don't know how Captain America had Mjolnir.
Well, he got it.
He went back in time.
In Endgame when they went back in time and grabbed it.
Oh, okay.
He's like, hold on. He's like, I'm still worthy, because he was excited. He was still worthy. And then they hopped out of there.
So you have both now?
Yeah, he had both in Endgame, and that's how Captain America got Mjolnir, and he's like, "Avengers, assemble!" The line that everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah.
In America to say, and he was holding Mjolnir.
He like gave it to him or something, right?
No,
just
he
trying to-
he summoned it. Like
Yeah, because he talked to his mom, and his mom knew that Thor was like not the Thor that she knew. She was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
I
okay,
was
I'll give
born
you."
of witches, son.
Yeah,
And he's like, and then he was like, that Thor grabbed it. He's like, I'm still worthy. They go back, and then you see this scene with Thor, and he was reaching out to like grab Mjolnir, and it went past Thor, and it went into Captain
yeah.
America's hand, and then that's when Thor and Captain America was beating the shit out of Thanos for a brief moment, but I don't remember that being shattered.
well, if they brought it in time, they would have to bring the hammer back in time when
Right,
they
that's
were
what
returning
Calorie's
everything.
saying.
Yeah,
Because then
so
Thor wouldn't
then
have had it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the hammer would have shattered again just due to the timeline. So now the hammer's still shattered. It's just Jane somehow got it back together.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably why he was surprised in the trailer. He was like, Mjolnir, and then she like grabbed it, and then so
Okay,
I guess
so
that makes sense.
but guess what? When Steve Rogers went back, everything went back to normal. So Mjolnir went back to Asgard before.
So
Yeah,
that
because
it
they
could
had
be
to
time zone.
return everything. So
Okay, I just didn't remember them returning the hammer. That's all. So
yeah, because I think Steve Rogers, he was carrying it when he went back to return everything. He was carrying that, the shield, and like all the other shit.
I'll have to rewatch that and see that, because I watched them last month because I went from the very beginning all the way through, minus the TV shows, because that's a lot to go through.
Yeah.
And I watched all the
Yeah.
movies again.
I
Just
even
getting
like Agents of Shield. I know a lot of people don't like this shit, but I like it. It has a lot of cheesiness stuff.
I started to watch it, but it was boring, so I stopped.
Yeah.
It's
I stopped
very
like 2
cheesy.
episodes in. I think it probably got a lot better if I would have kept watching it.
It has like Ghost Rider and stuff
So
later.
let's break into what we think could potentially happen in Thor: Love and Thunder, though, because like I was looking at the cast on IMDb, and it's pretty interesting, right? So
for Thor: Love and Thunder.
yeah, the cast is Chris Hemsworth, obviously. Taika Waititi is Korg, right?
I love it. I love him.
Chris Pratt as Peter Quill, obviously. You got Natalie Portman. You got Melissa McCarthy as actor Hela. And then you also have Matt Damon as actor Loki again, which he's reprising that role, I suppose. Christian Bale is Gore the God Butcher. Karen Gillan is Nebula again. Bradley Cooper is in it, obviously. So they got like the whole Guardians cast here. Dave Bautista. I don't see Zoe Saldana listed. So she's still out there somewhere. Sam Neill as actor Odin. So they're going to be watching some kind of play or something in this, right? Valkyrie's in it. Yeah, Tessa Thompson is returning as Valkyrie. Mantis is in it.
She's now the queen of Asgard.
I think so. You got
Valkyrie chick,
Jamie Alexander as Sif. So she's returning. Russell Crowe as Zeus. Luke Hemsworth as actor Thor, so his brother is going to play an actor version of Thor. Sean Gunn as Kraglin. But there was another one that I saw on a different list. If you actually go to just Google the cast, Cate Blanchett's listed.
Are they going to have?
Wasn't she Hela?
Hela?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I thought she was destroyed, right? Didn't she die or
prison?
And then there's also Bast. Akosia Sabat plays Bast. I don't remember Bast. Is that one of the teammates back on Asgard?
I can't say. It could have been. Could have very well been.
Yeah, maybe it's just like a flashback or something. And also having
is it B-A-S-T?
B-A-S-T. Bast is a cat goddess in ancient Egypt mythology.
Black Panther thing, I think.
Right.
Oh, that could be what brings Moon Knight with possibly how Black Panther gets, tying all that together, because Moon Knight is in Africa because of Egypt. So all that could be tied in. Like they could tie in Moon Knight with Black Panther, how that power started, and they could really like possibly going back, doing like flashbacks of. So I mean, to me, it just sounds like Thor's dying, and he's having flashbacks of everything, and then that's it. I'm just that's what I feel, and then all Father Thor will come down the road, and be the mightiest hero of out there when he is. But what's the Beta Ray Bill? Beta Ray Bill?
What?
Is it Beta Ray Bill? All right.
That's interesting. I'm looking at Bassett's history. He seems to be part of the Black Panther, like the god, because they pretty much worship like the Black Panther god, and he seems to be like
Yeah.
part of the
We
spirits or whatever.
we also could get a Beta Ray Beta Ray Bill introduction too. If Thor actually dies, Beta Ray Bill might actually take the mantle for a while.
So another person that's listed in the cast
Stormbreaker
is Simon Russell playing Beale. So I did some Googling, okay, and that character could be Eric Beale, who was in Marvel, was a Fat Cat producer for the original Dazzler movie. During production, Eric became infatuated by Alison Blair, who's Dazzler, and then became a stalker. So could we potentially see like an introduction of Dazzler, who went on to join the X-Men? If Beale's in it, I don't know. I googled this Bill guy's name, and everything comes up with Dazzler shit. You know, like as like a enemy of the Dazzler.
You talking about
Dazzler?
You talking about that bird Thor guy?
No, Dazzler is like it looks like a sparkly superhero girl that she was in X-Men.
Yeah, but wasn't she in Jessica Jones?
Not sure.
Or was that what was Jessica Jones? No, what was her friend's character's name again?
I'm not sure, but you know, there's other actors playing these characters, right? That are actors of other characters, and then you see this guy his character in the comics was as a producer, right? That was making a Dazzler movie. I'm wondering if they're like making like a Thor movie, you know what I mean, with these actors and stuff, and like he plays like the director, and maybe I don't know. I just when I Google his name, a bunch of Dazzler stuff comes up, so I found that interesting.
Yeah, I guess it could be another. They're probably going to start tying up because Marvel is really good at tying up these things, leading up to X-Men. So you'll probably just start seeing X-Men characters appear in different things, and then eventually we have that moment where Wolverine is fighting alongside Spider-Man and stuff like that. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for that. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't wait for a Wolverine Hulk fight. Like in Hulk, what is it? Hulk 81.
But like, like Hulk can't beat him because like he's made out of adamantium and he heals, right? So,
and then you can't kill Hulk because his skin's impenetrable or whatever.
Yeah,
you can't penetrate his skin with adamantium. No,
it's one of those mashups that you want to see just because. Just give it to us.
You know, didn't that kind of like go to the origins of like the Hulk's introduction into the comics and stuff originally,
that was Wolverine? the Hulk versus Wolverine. I think that was the Hulk or Wolverine's first appearance.
Yeah, or Wolverine's.
Hulk 81.
I remember seeing like
Wolverine's first appearance
when I was Googling stuff after the Wolverine trailer came out from the video game. There was a license plate on the wall, and like if you Google the comic number and stuff, it goes to like the first introduction of the character, right?
Yeah.
So
I remember the cover.
Hulk could be in that game.
I hope so. I'm hopeful for the Hulk and him somewhat going back to his, because right now Professor Hulk is supposed to be way later in his life,
Yeah.
and it's supposed to be a moment where Hulk and Bruce Banner, after years and years of him being, you know, the crazy Hulk, he realizes that Hulk is also a person, and it's pretty much what it is now. But it takes time to get there, and I feel like that would have been a better way of doing it, because you can appreciate it more, and you have that time where you have angry Hulk, because the stronger a Hulk gets, it comes from his angers, and his anger is pretty much unlimited. So he pretty much can be as powerful as he wants, which is like
Yeah,
why
Hulk's one of like the strongest characters. He can like break planets in half and shit.
yeah, he held his breath for like 100 years or something, just jumping planets. Like that's the Hulk I've been wanting to see, but we only got a few movies where he was like that angry, and then he was like back to normal. So I don't know.
I really wanted Planet Hulk.
That's just
And
because they can't do the whole Hulk movies or whatever because it's Universal or some shit.
I thought I really thought that we found out that fucking Marvel bought it back, and then it was like it was a whole weird thing. But it's just Marvel needs to pay whatever money to get that fucking franchise back.
I think
from
the
Universal.
Hulk movie is kind of too late to be done. They would have to do with like She-Hulk at this point now.
No, they could still fuck with. They could do like Grey Hulk.
How much Hulk are we going to see in She-Hulk? You guys think?
It would be
about
Professor
5
Hulk.
minutes worth.
5 minutes worth?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe actually like a minute and a half.
Wow. I have a weird theory that this could end up being maybe the best show though that we've gotten, because it's so like I know nothing about what's like. It just seems like they could do some big ass things with it, because it's involving Hulk. They could fix a lot of stuff using this show.
I will say the prison that the people escaped from in the latest Marvel Miss Marvel episode kind of looked like the prison that we saw in the trailer for She-Hulk. It was like in the middle of the desert.
Right. You talking about where Miss Marvel was? Or not, no, where the clandestines were?
Yeah, or the Jinn people.
Yeah, the Jinn. So that's why from the damage control people, which is the worst, the stupidest fucking name for any kind of police force. What is it called again? The something of damage control.
Department of Damage
Department of Damage Control. It's like fucking what people call us on Twitter when we fucking say, "Hey, the Xbox has games." And we're with the Department of Damage Control here, everybody. Here, just making sure that that we still got shit to play here on Xbox, and also everything else. By the way, we have cool ass space weapons.
Yeah, I really like Damage Control. I think I read some of their comics. It's like interesting, like another layer, because you have all these superheroes damaging the city in all these battles, and their job is basically to clean it up, and they're like trying to hold superheroes accountable for like insurance and stuff like that. So it's interesting that they're finally bringing them into the movie. I think the first appearance of Damage Control was Spider-Man Homecoming.
The first Spider-Man,
the Vulture
stuck in the hangar.
Yeah, but they didn't portray them as such like weird little douchebag police force in that one though. It was more like just as people that showed up to clean up the mess, not like this like squad of like agents that go around and try and capture superheroes.
Well, they kind of showed that off in Spider-Man 3 too. They they arrested Mary Jane and all those people, and because they were connected to Spider-Man.
Did that happen? I don't remember. Really?
Yeah. And that's why he had to hire a lawyer. That's why he had to hire Daredevil, because they arrested him.
Oh, that was the Damage Control people?
Yeah.
Because the first time we see them, like, the reason why Vulture became kind of evil is because, like, it's like, wow, we're about to make a lot of money on this construction of all these, the superhero damage, and we can finally feed our families and stuff. And Damage Control stepped in. They're like, nope, we're taking over this. And that was the first time we saw them. And I guess the second time is what Jasper is saying. Right? I can't think of another time it popped up.
I don't remember Damage Control other than Spider-Man.
I guess with I guess that would, because I can't think of another time they showed up, but I guess the next time was Spider-Man 3 when they went to go arrest Peter Parker, and they were like, they were in like the interrogation rooms and stuff.
Right. So any other shows coming out this year? I mean, we have more Star Wars stuff, right?
There's a lot of animated stuff.
Or is that not till next year?
Andor, I think, comes out in the fall.
Andor,
Percy Jackson, let's go.
And there's no more shows after She-Hulk from Marvel, right? This year.
Yeah, there's the Groot holiday special.
Oh, whip, yay!
And I think there's one more show after She-Hulk.
Let's see.
So it'd be July is Thor, August is She-Hulk, then I guess it'd be Andor maybe, and then Black Panther, and then
I'm looking it up right now.
month by month because they kind of do that. They just kind of do one thing a month.
All right, so there was Doctor Strange, then there's Mrs. Marvel, then there's Thor: Love and Thunder, and there's I Am Groot. It's a series of 5 original shorts about Groot. Then there's She-Hulk, which is the week after that. Then Black Panther, Guardians Holiday Special.
Yeah.
And then nothing else until February of next year, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So we're going to have like after She-Hulk, which will last from around, I'm guessing it's probably going to be the same 6 episode type show that they keep doing.
Yeah.
It'll last from around August 17th till around like, I'm guessing like early September. It's going to be a long wait until November for anything Marvel related.
I mean, what Focus said, like Avatar is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
In November, we also got Black Panther, then we got Thor. In terms of TV shows, then we got She-Hulk. I love Percy Jackson, so I think that's coming out this year. Maybe it's next year. Stranger Things is dropping on Friday.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, did y'all see the rest of? Did y'all all finish the?
Yeah, it was amazing.
Sue's so good. It's like the best season so far, hands down. Psycho, did you finish it?
Which one?
Stranger Things.
Yeah. I watched that the fucking moment it went live.
So fucking good, man.
I binged that when that was during COVID. So yeah, I watched the fuck out of that show. I like Stranger Things, and then now I gotta wait for the last 2 episodes, which is smart. I mean, it's on, and for Netflix, I mean, they binge watch. They drop a whole season on you, but to save the last 2 episodes like that.
Last 2 episodes are 4 hours long, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're each like full length movies. I think.
Yeah, each episode's like 2.5 hours, I think. So.
Yeah, kind of makes up for it. It was long,
and there's a whole nother season too coming.
Yeah, the last season 5 is the last season.
So with all of this, I'm like wondering what the fuck season 5 going to be like. Is it gonna? Because season 4 is like a fucking masterpiece right now for me. Like just a movie or show, movie, didn't matter. Like one of my favorite things I've ever watched so far. It's fucking awesome. It has like, like Stranger Things is like 80s, nostalgia, a lot of it in it, this is where it takes place. It's also kind of shot that way, and it makes me like, man, this shit's awesome. Like it. I wish there was more.
Were so good.
They were Jasper. You didn't get to get a taste of it. I only got 7 years of it, right? And then early 90s were really cool too.
Yeah, the 90s were good.
Yeah, 90s were fucking amazing as well. But like the 80s, like we got so much badass stuff in the 80s. Like I feel like the 80s we had more like IP creation and like stuff that we all love and celebrate today than in any other decade. Really? Like, I mean, if you think about the cartoons and shit of the 80s and like comic books and movie franchises and all this stuff. Like it was just 80s was just full of awesomeness, man. And even music.
Yeah.
My daughter's listening to that fucking Running Up the Hill song by Kate Bush. It was like it came out in the 80s. Like Kate Bush is now in her 60s. Like why? Like it's crazy that this song is a smash hit now. You know, like because of Stranger Things.
I love when things rotate and come back in like full force, whether it's fashion, like there's always things always like come back and circle around and become popular somehow. Like, oh yeah, that happened a while ago. There's just something nostalgic about it, I guess, like in a time period where that was the newest thing.
Speaking of nostalgia, did y'all see Top Gun?
No.
I still haven't seen Top Gun.
Oh my god, you guys are killing me.
I know.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting to see it.
I do like the nostalgia of Stranger Things. Claire, is it Calarie? Sorry if I screwed up your name. Is it
Calarie?
So the episode seasons 1 through 3 definitely was a more nostalgic throwback to the 80s. This one definitely dick pic.
Dick pic. This one had a lot of dick pics in it, guys.
Depicted the fear aspect of the leech is a lich that is coming, because this character that is the boss. Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's the boss, but he's definitely like the wizard of whatever story they're gonna go with the D&D aspect of Stranger Things.
Right,
so
start talking about dicks. I show up.
Why'd you have to say? Why'd you have to say dick on accident, Psycho? Come on,
I'm
you just drive him to our channel again.
I know they got excited. They're like, "Ooh, we need some." So, no, but seriously, it's definitely it's a different take this season, but I'm liking it because it's really getting into the fear of what the real danger's coming, and so I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see in what tomorrow, or is it the July 1st that they are releasing? So Friday, right? So July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Pong. I don't. I know you don't watch shit very much anymore, but if you like. If you want like original, like why isn't anybody original anymore? Why doesn't anybody make anything like anymore? Like that's fucking great. If you go watch Stranger Things season 4, you will have those moments of like, this is like the shit, like making stuff the way they used to, right? Like they fucking episode 4 specifically of season 4 is one of the best things I've watched ever.
Yeah, I really love the
I
fourth
couldn't
season.
tell you what the episode.
That's the one where Max is like, hey, in the air, you know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, like where they have the big build up where that song comes in, you know, the song that Pong's saying he's listened to a lot, Run Up the Hill. It's just like, man, that was fucking like, it had a perfect build up, it had a perfect payoff, it had like the most intense, like edge of your seat, like, you know, it was just thrilling. You know,
season 4 was pretty much like a horror show compared to the other seasons. Like the first season, I felt was very much like reminiscent of what Calarie was saying. Like it called back to shows or movies like E.T. Like you're taking care of the kid and you're trying to hide it. I feel like
season 1 had more like the horror stuff in it.
Season 1 was a lot of horror. Yeah, season 2 was just kind of like
kind of shit
throwaway. You know?
No, I'm just talking about the in terms of like nostalgic. The first season was like season 4 was straight up a horror compared to the other seasons, in my opinion. Like the way the bones cracked, like.
Well, I just feel like we haven't really went to like the other side too much in season 4.
We're about to see a lot of it.
Yeah,
we're about to see a lot of it in these next 2 episodes, I think, and I appreciate the show. Like it has that feeling, you know. It's a completely original stuff, and it's awesome. But I agree. Also, Calarie said Top Gun Maverick is the best movie he's seen in years, maybe, and I'll agree with that also. you know. It's fucking awesome, guys. Like if you like the original, it's like watching it all over again for the first time, but if it was made today and better.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll have to
I
look
guess
at it. I'll have to watch.
like I guess that comes out on Friday. So if you guys are looking for anything else to watch, like it's coming up, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still haven't
I'm
seen Top
definitely-
Gun.
Umbrella
Yeah, that
Academy
was-
just came out. You watch that too.
I haven't
Yeah,
never
yeah.
watched an episode of Umbrella Academy. I did start
Um,
watching The Boys again.
Yeah, I've
That-
been watching both. I've been watching Umbrella Academy. Been watching The Boys. Been liking it. I watch Herogasm. Holy crap. The fuck. That's all I gotta say. The Boys. The fuck.
I'm rewatching. I'm
Oh
not
my God.
rewatching. I'm watching The Boys right now, and I'm on the latest season, so I'm looking forward to getting to the episode people keep talking about.
Oh my God, 3-bit. You're gonna be
I feel like that's every episode with season 3 is like, oh, this episode someone's dick fucking explodes, and then the next one, oh my God, this episode is amazing.
They gotta keep
Yeah,
outdoing
they push
themselves.
boundaries on
Right?
that show. They definitely push some boundaries on that show, but I love it.
Yeah, I like it. When season 1, when she like the guy's head explodes between a girl's thighs, literally.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, that's crazy. That show in season 1, kind of like the middle episodes, I got lost interest, and then with everybody talking about season 3 now and like all the shit happening, I was like, okay, I got to go finish that season. And I was like, wow, okay, it actually got good. Now I'm at the beginning of season 2, so it's getting a lot better than I had remembered that middle. But did y'all know something? The guy Huey, do you all know who he is? Kate told me this the other day.
Who is? I actually don't recognize him on anything else besides The Boys.
He's Two People's son.
Two People's son.
Two People's son. A couple that is not married anymore, not together anymore. And stop Googling, Jasper. I saw your
I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about. So I'm just looking at the actual dude.
Well, you can't look because his last name will give it away.
Starlight's
you can't look.
boyfriend.
Huey and Starlight's boyfriend, the main guy.
I'll just type in
remember when Robin exploded at the beginning of episode 1? The guy. You follow him for the entire show.
The dorky guy.
Huey, yeah, the tall one.
The one that fucking he always gets fucking picked on.
Yeah, Huey. He's named after a DuckTale character, Huey. All right.
If you watch, if you watch season 3, he's the one that can slip in and out of his clothes when he gets jacked up on the super.
I haven't seen season 3. Shh. All right,
so I just
Huey.
looked it up.
All right,
Starlight wear a white suit with like red trim?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, gold trim.
Oh, I had no idea.
White with
so
gold.
Huey is the son of. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. Damn it, 3-bit. Fuck.
What? I didn't hear it.
Okay. So, all right. So, the actor. Think of Big Lebowski. True Grit.
Jeff Daniels or Jeff Bridges? Sorry, Jeff Bridges.
Not Jeff Bridges. No, sorry. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the wrong person. Sorry. No, not Jeff Bridges. Okay, sorry. Rick. Fuck. What? That's fucking Jeff Bridges. I'm thinking of it. No, this is not that wrong actor. I have it wrong in my head. Okay, this actor was in.
Just rewind that.
He was in the movie about the pitcher that got old. The Rookie. Remember The Rookie?
No.
Okay. Fuck. What else was he in? Frequency. Have y'all seen Frequency?
Maybe when I was stoned in the 90s.
Okay. I'm gonna name other movies. Okay. He's in tons of shit. Tons of shit. I'm just having blanking right now. Okay, he was in The Day After Tomorrow, Parent Trap, Yours, Mine, and Ours, Jaws 3.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Good Company. Parent Trap.
I didn't watch that shit.
God. Okay, Flight of the Phoenix, Switchback, Undercover Blues.
I don't know.
All right, you guys are killing me. The Alamo.
Is his real name Jack, and then his last name I'm not gonna say because I don't want to cycle. Okay.
Yeah, it's Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, Jack Quaid. That's his name. That's his first name's Jack.
It's Dennis Quaid.
Oh, he's Dennis Quaid's son?
Yes. Dennis Quaid, but and not only Dennis Quaid's son.
Why didn't you say 24 hours? Or 24, the TV show.
That was Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking, I had Jeff Bridges' face in my head when I first started talking. I was saying True Grit.
Dennis Quaid.
And you said, Dennis Quaid. Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
You said like Parent Trap.
I did say Parent Trap.
Oh, you did.
Oh, what is it? Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah, I said Day After Tomorrow.
No, you should say The Main Scientist with Jack Gyllenhaal's dad.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid. And so not only is it Dennis Quaid's son, also I'm going to name another actor in some movies. Okay, Sleepless in Seattle. You've Got Mail. When Harry Met Sally. IQ.
Tom Hanks?
No, actress. Actress, okay? Actress.
What's her name? Meg Ryan?
Yes. It's Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son.
Really?
Yeah. Huey is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son. That's like Hollywood royalty.
He did. Actually, I watched the interview with him. What's his, that Kind of Funny podcast. They had Huey on talking about something, and they had Hideo Kojima talking about Huey in The Boys, and he kind of had a fanboy moment live.
Oh, really?
Kind of fun, yeah. So he's a gamer, so he digs Hideo Kojima.
Oh, right on.
So I thought that was funny.
Oh, you know, my favorite growing up, my favorite Dennis Quaid movie was actually Inner Space. Have y'all seen Inner Space?
Oh yeah, I think that's when he went small and he got put into a little syringe and it was put into some, and he had to get out of whoever's before he went big.
But I actually think
maybe that's where they got the idea of the dude sneezing inside the penis.
Maybe
because they had to leave. Because in that movie they had to leave before that happened, and it came true.
And I also think he looks more like a mix of Meg Ryan and his uncle.
Well,
his uncle is Randy Quaid. Y'all know who Randy Quaid is, right?
No, I have no idea.
Y'all don't know who Randy Quaid is? Okay, the Randy Quaid was fucking comedian from the 80s and 90s, guys. Like he was in everything. A Christmas Vacation.
Before me
you know, that dude.
Randy, he's super tall. Yeah, that's Dennis Quaid's brother, Randy Quaid.
The idiot from vacation movies.
Yeah, the idiot from the vacation movies is Randy Quaid.
The shit he's full? That guy?
Yeah, the one who he blew up
the crazy
propane
uncle.
tank outside the in
Independence
Vacation.
Yeah,
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Randy Quaid. Now also him and his wife are on the run for tax evasion, and they fled the country.
In real life right now?
Yeah, no, this happened years ago. They left the country because they claimed that people were after them. They got real hysterical. They're trying to. I think they went to Canada and made it seem like people were trying to kill them. So what's it called when you go somewhere because you fear of your safety? Asylum. Yeah, they sought asylum in Canada, I think, for stuff, and they're just trying to avoid having to pay a bunch of money. This happened years ago, so that's why he's not acting. That's why he hasn't acted forever. He's he's on the lam.
Wow,
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, cousin Eddie. Yeah, there you go.
Later, Talos.
Yeah, later, Talos, and yeah, everybody. That's gonna do it for the show here. That's gonna do it for FunPop. FunPop will not be back next week.
55.
Like I said before, no plans to right now, but maybe it'll come back in the future in some form or fashion. right? Maybe not on this channel, maybe on a new channel, eventually more dedicated to this kind of stuff. But I do appreciate everybody being here for our finale of FunPop. You guys rock. Shout out to the chat, everybody who was here today, everybody who's ever listened to an episode of FunPop. Thank you so much. And also thank you to our panel. As always, guys, you rock. And I can't wait to talk about games and all this other stuff. And we'll talk about movies and TV shows and all this shit all the time anyway, right? So, but Psycho, thank you again, man. I appreciate you doing this with me now for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years, or a year and a half or so, at least, dude.
Well, yeah,
thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. It started Christmas Day, or technically Christmas Eve, early morning, with Wonder Woman 84 when we watched it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because that's when that movie released, and well, I mean, that's when I watched it, so it might have been Christmas night, because I think we did our FunPop or Xbox Ultimate episode at that point, I believe. Something along the lines of that. But yeah, no, thank you, man. And everyone in chat, it's been an amazing 55 episodes. We all wished it was longer, but we have to take shows that we're not doing as hot, and
we'll be in other shows. You'll see us around.
Exactly. Of course. But
Maybe
thank you guys. Yeah, he's too busy doing some Xbox stuff. So, but yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Mev. Thank you, Jasper 3-Bit. You guys made it just that much more fun. It was my highlight every midweek.
Yeah.
Kaitlin for the phenomenal thumbnails. Without you, Mav wouldn't be here on time a lot of the days.
She always said that her favorite thumbnails to make were FunPops. Also, just because
it's super vibrant and colorful and stuff.
Oh, so you just wanted to kill the one thing that she liked. I got it.
Yeah. So thank you guys, and you can find me everywhere. Psychonauts. You'll find me now on Xbox Ultimate on Fridays. And every so often on FSP at 7 o'clock.
At 10.
At 10? Oh, yeah. We moved it.
No, it's the same. It's been for like about a month or so.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, FunPop was 7 and then it went 10. That's what it was. Sorry. I apologize. So you can find me there. Love you guys. Thank you so much for the best times in a long while,
Yeah. It's gone. You didn't just have to leave like that, Psycho. I mean,
the internet was like, no. But thank you guys. Truthfully, during COVID, this helped myself at least through a lot of downtime. So this FunPop was very special to me. So thank you guys.
Yeah. Again, first thing that we're doing like every week here. So thank you, Psycho, as well, man. Shout out to Vik The CLiCK, $2 super chat. Says there goes my Wednesday nights. Like we'll keep you. I'm gonna have more time to stream on Wednesday nights. If you want to hang out, we can shoot the shit and talk shows and stuff when I'm playing games also. But like we're gonna be working on some new stuff for the channel as well. Like when we get some stuff together for that, I'll be ready to announce kind of what we're doing, and it'll be like it will be a weekly thing, but it won't be a podcast. It won't be like a show, right? 3-Bit, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you for starting this show with me and Psycho when we originally started, and thanks for everything you've always done and been a part of our channel. And it's sad to not have these, FunPop discussions with you anymore, but
yeah,
there will be lots more behind the scenes when we talk about this shit for sure. So tell everybody where they can find you as well, sir.
Yeah, everyone can follow me on Twitter at i3bit, and it's always been a pleasure being a part of FunPop. It's one of my favorite shows to be a part of, and it's like in my job, it makes it harder to be a part of podcasts. And thank you for changing the schedule a couple times to accommodate me, because I always love talking comics and stuff like that, and it is always close to me, like as Psycho was saying, being a part of the show. So thanks to Kate for also making some killer thumbnails and supporting the show and supporting Mav. It's always cool to see you guys interact, and of course everybody in the chat for coming out to our final show. Definitely, this show definitely means a lot to me. So it's ended it with a bang, and I always want to thank you guys for letting me be a part of the show. So thank you guys, and I'll see you later.
Right on, man. And Psycho, did you tell people where they could find you also? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
Everywhere, so on social media, and the whole Xbox Ultimate at 9:00, and
okay, cool. I don't know. I'm just so sad that I just like couldn't remember if you forgot to actually say Psychonauts and stuff on Twitter.
I'm just trying to not from crying.
Okay. And Jasper, who joined this panel halfway through the show's existence, also the first thing that he did here with us. You've made the show a hell of a lot of fun ever since you joined, and thank you, bro, for being on my side a lot with this stuff too. And we did win the big movie extravaganza showdown again, so that was great. But dude, thanks for being a part of it. And where can everybody find you?
I close my eyes only for a moment, and then the moment's gone. All we are is dust in the wind.
Oh my god. Dust in the wind.
No, but you can get me at Lore Jasper on Twitter, Lore Master Jasper on YouTube, FSPs Monday 10:00, and no more Wednesdays, so it's just going to be Mondays and Fridays at Xbox Ultimate. It's Fridays 9:00 Eastern, so that's where I'll be.
Right on, man. All right, guys. Well, this has been FunPop. It is very sad, as Kate just said. It's sadder than she anticipated. Yeah, it's definitely sad. I'll leave you with this. It's so hard to say goodbye to what we've had. The good times that made us laugh outweigh the bad. Ooh. And now we take. Oh, I'm just kidding. All right, guys.
It's like tears in the rain.
To be my sunshine
on a cloudy day
after the rain.
See, Jasper, we don't know what the heck song they're talking.
No,
I
feel like Dust in the Wind. I think was a better choice.
Yeah. Or tears in the rain. Tears in the rain.
All right. Yeah, that's Boys to Men. You don't know Boys to Men's 3-bit?
Oh, I didn't know that was Boys to Men.
Well, we didn't sing it like it was Boys to Men.
No.
Yeah, maybe your pitch was throwing me off.
You judging my pitch now? Right on. All right. Okay, guys, it's been real. Stay tuned for everything else we got going on this channel. Like I said, I'm working on some other stuff that been preoccupied the last couple weeks. Haven't had a chance to really get it going yet, but we're working on some stuff in the background to be able to have some more video content coming up on the channel as well. So that's going to be happening. And stay tuned, more game streams and stuff. Wednesday nights will be free more, so I may have some more time to play some games here. And appreciate everybody who always has tuned in again. Look for out on Twitter. Vic just made a good comment. Hey, can we post some stuff about Twitter, about shows and stuff? It will probably be a place to give a lot of our thoughts on this kind of stuff. And also maybe random discussions on this kind of stuff here and there with our other shows. But guys, it's been real. Thank you again so much, and have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
FunPop.
FunPop.